Hey, this is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You, and my channel is dedicated to reviewing as seen on TV items, other consumer products, and household gadgets. If that's something that's interesting to you, please consider subscribing to my channel for more videos just like this one. Now, let's get to it. Okay, so today we're looking at the Artic Air Ultra. This is the second generation of the Artic Air. That's why the name Ultra is in there. If you guys remember from last year, there actually was an Artic Air, and I heard some good reviews from it. Actually, I heard some mixed reviews. So we'll see if this one holds up to the test. I live here in Central Virginia, and it gets really hot and humid in the summer, so I'm really looking forward to see if this thing will actually keep an area cool or keep myself cool. Even with the air conditioning on, like I said, it gets really, really hot. So let's take a closer look at this and do a quick unboxing. All right, so right at the top I have, stop, do not return to the store. Like, I'm not gonna turn this back into the store if it's a piece of junk or I don't like it. This is not the boss of me. All right, so I have directions. We'll look at those only if we need them. And of course I have a power plug. And then I have down here, it looks like the unit itself, wrapped in a plastic bag. Well, that's interesting. It's got a plastic wrap on the top. You know what? First look, it's actually a whole lot smaller than I expected. I expected something bigger, especially since the box is probably twice this size. I guess it had a lot of packaging in the box, so maybe that's why the box was a little bit bigger. But first look, this is the Artic Air Ultra. It's kind of neat. It does have like a little vent fan like you would have in a car, so maybe for directions. I'm assuming this is where the water goes. It has a line right here where it says max fill. I'll let you know how much water actually goes in. The top of it, it looks like it has a power button, a fan button, and maybe an LED light there at the top. This drawer, yep, it slides out. Oh, that's cool. It actually has the filter mechanism right in here, so that's kind of cool too. It says place filter here, like I don't know where I'm going to put it back. I just took it out. That's kind of neat. I think it goes in pretty easy. The plastic feels kind of cheap. I don't know, like it's thin and flimsy, but I kind of hope it works because I'm really looking forward to using this. So what I'll do is I'll take a little bit more look at the directions, and then we'll see what actually goes on with some tests. And I like to maybe put a hair dryer to the back end of this to see if the water cools down the air enough to make it cool for me. So let's see. So I already showed you where the filter was in the original unboxing. I was reading through the directions, and they recommend washing the filter frequently. I guess in some reviews from the original Artic Air, people said the filter maybe smelled after prolonged use, and so this is neat. This actually can be washed in the dishwasher. They recommend putting it on the top rack, or it could be hand washed. So they want you to wash it if you smell mold or mildew, or you can see visible mold or mildew. They also say before using it, make sure this is wet. I also thought it was interesting. They said for best results, place this or get this wet and place it in the freezer. And I'm thinking, well, duh, putting an ice cold filter in here absolutely is going to make this colder. But I want to see if this works with just the water making it colder, not freezing the filter. On the back, as I showed you before, they have the plug for the power source. I originally thought, man, that's such a weird place to put this in because clearly this is going to get in the way of the vent fan. But then I read the directions, and sure enough, they have this spot right here on the side where you can tuck your plug in and keep it out of the way. So I thought, you know what, that's kind of an interesting design. I'm trying to do it one-handed, so it's not very easy, but it still will fit here on the side. That's kind of cool. So we'll see what happens with this, but first look, I wanted you to see that exactly what was inside here and what to do with the filter. But there you have it. Okay, so here we are set up to do a hair dryer test to go get some hot air to come through to see what the temperature on the other side is. I just tied some ribbon here just to see if we can determine how fast the speed of the fan was. I will say if you look at the top here, I have a light button, and this is actually the on-off button. So if I hit this on, I have 3 speeds. All of them lit is high, then I have medium, then I have low, and then I have off. Okay, so when the fan is on, the light also has 3 levels. I have it all the way shining bright, then dimmer, and then off. So I guess it's only 2 levels, including off. But that's how you work that part. They say if you run this on the low setting, you can get upwards to 12 hours of cooling time. If you're on the high setting, you can get up to 8 hours, and the medium setting, 10 hours. So let's see as we go forward, just what our results look like. So I'll turn this off, and I'll get ready to put the filter in and get the test going. All right, so I have the filter. It has been soaked in water just lightly, like it says. I'm going to put this in the reservoir. I will say there is a website you can go to if you need to order more of these filters. It's called www.articairfilter.com, and each filter replacement is $10. They recommend replacing them every 3 to 6 months, so that's something to think of if you are looking to do this. And it also has directions on here where it says, I don't know if you can see it, it says airflow, and there's an arrow pointing this way, so I know I have to put it into this direction. Close it up. All right, so right here I have 16 ounces of water. I actually don't know how much water goes in here, so I'm going to just start pouring until I get to the max line, which is right about here up on this plastic piece. All right, so it looks as though it took all 16 ounces of water, and there might actually be a little bit room for some more in there. I didn't seem to get up to this middle. I'm touching the plastic, but not here where this line is. So that might be it. Maybe it takes another ounce or two. I just don't know. For this test, I'm going to be using this heat gun, so it should be able to tell me the temperature going in and out. Right now it says it's rating at 60. It's not that warm in here. There's my skin temperature. So we'll see. I know coming from this end here, I'll at least be putting out 100, 150 degrees coming from that. So we'll see what the Arctic Air does on this side. I'm going to try it on full because I want to see the full potential, but we'll see if we can see these things blowing too. All right, so here we go. I have this on low setting. Just because I wanted not too much heat. All right. So the temperature I get from this, right now it's at 108. I got up to where it's to 140 degrees. So right now coming through, what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on cold. I actually feel warm air coming through this unit. The fan is on. Let's see. I mean, it says it's coming through at 85 degrees, which is not that bad since it's going in at 200 and 196 degrees. It's not bad. Let's see. So if it's cooling it down that far, 200 plus degrees, let's see the back of this. So the back of the air cooler, the Arctic Air Ultra came in at 174, and the front of it here is bringing it down pretty significantly. I'm pretty impressed. Almost 100 degrees different from the front to back. It's not so bad since this is not really a realistic test. Although I do feel like it's a little warmer coming through here, but 80 degrees is warm. I'm pretty impressed with that so far. I'm just going to turn this off. So this unit has a slight hum. You can hear that. I want to show you the modes. Let me see what happens if I turn the light down. So that's the light right there on full power, and then I'll turn the light down one dimness. Ooh, I don't think it actually flickers like that. Maybe just for the camera, and then all the way off is the light. That's pretty cool. Let's see what the temperature looks like, but there's no real heat source. 71 degrees. I'm interested to see what this would look like. I'm actually going to freeze the filter tonight. We'll check in the morning to see how much better it does. All right, now let's put the frozen filter into the Artic Air Ultra and see if we have a different result. Remember yesterday, about 200 degrees came out of that side, or coming into that side, and this side came out about 80. Let's see the difference now. All right, we're going to turn this on. So that's going to start running. Let's get a temperature reading there. So I'm up to 190 degrees. The back of the unit's at 132. So let's crank this on just to see what we'll get. I'll move that a little closer. I do have 16 ounces of water in there. I already put that in and it filled right up here to this plastic. You can get another ounce in there, but I figured 16 is perfect. So let's turn the unit on. It's on high, and let's see what happens as our air comes through. You can see the ribbons have picked up. That's our fan speed. So I've got, it says 236 on that end, which I know is not realistic. And this end, we're at mid-60s. To me, that's a pretty impressive reduction, 200 almost degrees, as far as the reduction of the temperature back there. So you know what? Their claim to fame that this unit will cool down even hot air, it worked, but now mind you, I had to freeze the filter first. Ready to give you my final review of the Artic Air Ultra. Now, this is the 2019 upgraded version of the previous Artic Air. I will say I do like the redesign. It is a little smaller, which was strange to me. I think you'd want to go bigger. It does have the LED light that emits from the top instead of the side, and it has 3 modes: low, medium, and high. And depending on what mode you select, will select how long this product will work. If you're on low, it goes for 12 hours, medium for 10 hours, and high for 8 hours. Now, I picked this up for $39.99, and to me, that was kind of expensive, especially for the quality of material. This is cheap plastic. It's almost like they made this from a 3D printer. That's how cheap it feels. If you go into this though with a realistic expectation, you might like it. I think if you use this as a personal air cooler within a few feet, I think you'll have a nice, comfortable, relaxing breeze that comes through here. But this is definitely not a room cooler, so make sure you're going into that with that expectation. You notice when I used the hair dryer coming through this end, it was almost 200 degrees, but yet it was coming out 80 degrees or so on the other end. That's a significant reduction in temperature, so that's pretty impressive. Also not realistic though, because most temperatures aren't 200 degrees, so you can sort of gauge how that works. And then when I froze the filter, man, it was so much cooler. However, that being said, you shouldn't have to freeze part of this item to make it work, because realistically, that's going to melt, and then it's just going to be like the regular product. I didn't think the fan speed was all that great. It seems like a cheap, inexpensive, like computer fan, or back in the day, CPU fan. So I thought maybe that's something they could have upgraded a little better, but I don't know. Maybe that's something that the Artic Air people can look at for the Super Ultra Pro, or whatever the next model is going to be. Anyway, that's my review of the Artic Air Pro. And if you like this video, please click the like button. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell for more videos just like this one. Also, if you could comment below and tell me if you had any experiences with either the original Artic Air or this new version, or is there another product that's similar that you think maybe is a good competitor. As always, have a great day, and thanks for stopping by.